Johnny know that I'm on the page, and then share it to the Shibboleth page. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Want to make sure that everyone can hear me okay. Good morning, everybody. It's a Friday, beautiful Friday here. Hope everybody's doing well. Testing 1 2 3. We have made some changes to our link today because we're trying to work around Facebook's blocking of us. I hope one day we don't have to use Facebook, but we really need to get our message out there in that marketplace, and had to change some things up today. So thank you for your patience. We are back, from my understanding, we are back on Facebook, facebook.com/Travis Martin 777. Any of y'all that do see it on my public page, please share it. Please share today's session. It has really set us back because we haven't been able to go live after Facebook locked us out for about 6 weeks. So it's going to be really helpful to us being back on Facebook, our Facebook page. And those of you that will, it sure would be a blessing if you would share today's broadcast if you also are on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I should have mixed me up a happy juice before I come in here, but I was running a little late, so I didn't get to mix me one up. If we had time, I'd mix us one up. How y'all doing? I'm running on fumes. Sasha and I had a project last night, and we worked through the night. We haven't been to bed, so y'all bear with me today. My voice is a little wore out. We worked on a project, and then I went to the gym this morning, so I'm a little, I'm not myself, so I need my happy juice. I should have got it. I guess I could ask Sasha Charles if she'd do that. Somebody y'all might be interested in how we mix it up. Hey, Sasha. Hey, everybody. All right. So we've got this cool little shaker cup. See, we can take those nefarious tools, those adult tools, and we can get some helpful use out of them. Charles has given me permission to mix me one up. I've got my happy juice mixture, and I'm going to shake this up real good. I'll answer some questions in just a moment on that, and maybe I'll get woke. I'm going to use about half of it. Now, Sasha just likes to down it. She just likes to down that thing, but I like to enjoy it a little bit. I like to mix sparkling ice. Now, another thing that I'll do, hey, Sasha, would you bring me one of the pineapple spark? Thanks. I like to put a little bit of pineapple spark in there to really liven me up. There's nothing wrong with shooting it. You actually get a better psychoactive effect, a better mood change by shooting it. She's a little better at shooting it than I am. I like to mix a little sparkling ice, and I'm putting the lid, and then I always like that movie Cocktail. Anybody seen that movie Cocktail? She's gonna give me my.
It looks like you're out of the pineapple.
Oh, so no, I can't be out of pineapple.
Oh, wait, there's one in here. Oh, no, it's rehydrate.
So I should say hello to everyone. You don't have to get in front of the camera, baby.
Hello,
Just tell them hi.
Did he tell you about our all?
Yeah, we pulled an all-nighter last night. We pulled an all-nighter, the price we paid for being out of town.
Oh, it'll be a mystery. It'll be a surprise to you.
So usually I like the pineapple spark. I like that movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Oh, I knew it.
Oh, that's probably the spark. You know what? That's the
carbonated beverage.
Yeah, that's the carbonation in there.
Oh, I know it. I told you it would do that. Yeah. But anyway, cheers. Cheers. Have we got, you get me a towel? I absolutely love those. That will kick it in high gear soon. Sorry for the delay today. We're having a little bit of fun. We're being a little cheesy today. Okay. If you're new here, don't let me lose you. I will straighten up in a moment. As much as we do this weight loss and wellness gig, we have to have a little fun every once in a while. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. Glad you're with us. Having my happy juice because Charles gave me permission. Cheers, everyone. That'll start taking effect in a little bit. I get livened up. All right. Hello, everybody. Let me look at some of the questions, and then I'll do introductions since I'm behind. Yeah, I love Cocktail. That was a fun movie. Kim, I'll have to talk to you about Happy Juice. I've tried several times, maybe not taking enough. Does it take time to get working? It doesn't. You may be a non-responder. I haven't talked to anyone who's a non-responder, but I have heard from the founder that some people just don't respond. But it's very, very few. You should have a little bit of a mood lift or a lot of a mood lift, some pain reduction if you're dealing with any pain, appetite control. So Kim, you may just not be a responder. I don't know how much you're taking at one time. Please don't take more than one bottle at one time. Half a bottle and I feel a little bit. A full bottle, I feel a lot. So I hate that you're not responding to it. Is anybody else responding to it? I don't want to keep talking about something that I'm the only responder to, but I have a major response to it. It is a very measurable response to my Happy Juice, and definitely not a placebo effect. It's a real effect. Ask Sasha if it seems numbing. You mean the Happy Juice? Is it numbing? What do you feel like it's numbing? Just so I can be clear, it numbs for a few minutes. All I can do is tell you how I respond to it. I get a significant mood lift. I don't feel sick or nauseous, but I don't want to eat anything. It's great for appetite control, especially during my fasting days. And because it attaches to the opioid receptors, it's much better than me taking 4 to 8 ibuprofen every day for my back and sciatica. So I use it instead of ibuprofen because it's better for my gut. So those are the things that I see a measure, and endurance. If I do it before a workout, like I did this morning, went to jiu-jitsu. Some of you can see my face is a little scuffed up. And I rolled, that rolling is sparring. It's very intense. And I rolled for a full hour without pause. And I owe a lot of that to my Happy Juice serving this morning because it helps with endurance. Yeah, I haven't had that numbing feeling. Maybe it is. Maybe you could describe what I feel. I feel a tingling sensation in my mouth that is pleasant. But again, like when we did the safety course on it, everybody's going to have a different experience and everybody needs to be careful with it. And you definitely don't need to go outside of Feel Free to get your kratom, because most of the kratom on the marketplace does not contain all of the plant alkaloids, which makes it very hard for the human body to digest. You need all 52 plus plant alkaloids so that it doesn't do harm to your liver. I should not, Selena, don't do as I do as I say. Okay. But a half a bottle is a serving, and the founder says not to go over one bottle. I generally have about 2 bottles per day, and I try to take, I have just started the process of trying to take off 3 days per week, usually on the weekends when I don't need to be as productive. So that's how I do it. That keeps your tolerance level from building. Yeah, and Charles, you're a larger fella, as I am, so you doing 2 servings, doing the whole bottle is probably fine. Let me go back to introductions. I answered the question. So my name's Travis. I've lost over 100 pounds on the program, come off all prescription medications. Program's changed my life, and it's changed tens of thousands of other lives too. For that, we bow our unworthy head and give Jesus the praise for it all. We've got 3 types of members here: our free community members, our lifetime members, and our partners. And we just want to thank our lifetime members and partners for making a way for us to do what we do, what we feel called to do. And we still seek others that feel called to come alongside us and join our ministry. There are many needs in our world. In the United States of America, if you ask me, those of us that have flourished, we've flourished materially. We're suffering. We hear a lot about the poor and their needs. We hear about a lot of needs of people who are suffering in our communities and in our society. And what goes overlooked is those of us that we work really hard. We stay stressed. We stay anxious. We don't turn to drugs. We don't turn to alcohol, but we have turned to food, and it's readily available to us. It's everywhere we go. It's very addictive. We develop compulsive eating behaviors that are killing. And Shibboleth's mission is to reverse that trend. And we cannot do it without you all. And we believe it starts with faith. There was an interesting write-up that I found. We've had many negative reviews of our program by a national publication. And I just read a new one that was very off-putting because they said I was off-putting. They said my message was sound, the nutritional message was sound, but that we fat shamed and that we talked about God was off-putting to the majority of people. And that it was unfortunate that Mr. Martin wanted to fat shame people and Mr. Martin wanted to bring faith into it and put off so many people. That's what the article said. So I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to change. I'm not fat shaming. I'm trying to help people that won't help. And I'm going to keep talking about Jesus until Jesus calls me home. So they can just keep writing their bad article. All right. So with that said, let's get started. We've got members here that will have questions. We've got some new members. New members, it is best that you go through the Fast Track video. Go through Fast Track. Take the test, pass test, and earn the Fast Track badge. You're welcome to be here without that Fast Track badge, but when we get into insulin control and food combinations and such, that may be off-putting to you because you don't understand our underlying philosophy. Once you go through Fast Track, these live sessions I do where I answer questions, personalize the program for you, that's going to really keep you moving forward much better. But you're going to understand the question and my answer much better if you've went through those Fast Track videos. So with that said, let's get into it. Any questions? Tammy says, and it's good to have Tammy, can we get to that article and make our own comments? I will. I'll put that out there. I found that through just Googling Shibboleth. There's several. I don't remember the name of this one, the newest one. I want to say it's Every Well or something like that, but I will try to get that to everybody so they can take a look at it. It's pretty much they're selling their own thing, but it's pretty much semi-complimentary to us, other than they fuss that must be making false claims, that nobody loses weight like that there's no scientific evidence backing our program, which is not true. I need to start doing some of these videos where I put all that, I show the article and I just squash them because they don't know what we're talking about. And they said it was off-putting that we fat shame and off-putting that we talk about Jesus. So we're going to keep doing those. Angela says they're showing that they're following their leader, Satan. Praise God for the Shibboleth message. And we're going to keep trying to praise God with that message. We're all flawed people. I'm chief amongst them, but I know where my help comes from. I know where our Shibboleth family's help comes from. So we're just going to keep praising God. My favorite recipes are those that call for fat-free cream cheese. Can't find it. Is there anything I can use instead of fat-free cream cheese? I think some of the ladies have suggested, was it plain yogurt? Y'all ladies help me out. Sasha does most of the cooking and she has left the room. But most of the recipes that call for fat-free cream cheese, you could pick up reduced fat cream cheese. You could even use full fat cream cheese as long as that recipe doesn't have any category 3 or any category 5 in. So keep that in mind. And one of the things you can do is take that recipe that you want to use and post it in the We Fixed It group, our own recipe, and say, this is a Shibboleth recipe, but what can I replace the fat-free cream cheese with? And someone will come to your rescue by looking at the recipe and telling you if you can replace it with reduced fat or full fat cream cheese. So don't overthink it. Don't get frustrated. There's always a way. Zero. I've never learned to pronounce that word. Fascia, is that it? Fascia, zero fascia. We did look that up, Shauna, and you're right, it would work. And Joni posts the recipe to make your own cream cheese. Awesome. Any other question? We'll keep this moving today. We'll get in flow, and we can answer any question based upon food combinations, behavior modification, We can keep you going. Mia says, I don't think that you fat shamed, but you helped me realize that me being overweight is not healthy. You know, it isn't healthy. Someone can be overweight and be healthy as it relates to their blood work, but no one can be overweight and be at their healthiest. Now that's a fact. And for the vast majority of people, statistically speaking, being obese is going to shorten lifespan by many, many years, sometimes decades. I'm not saying everybody. Some people have really good genetics, but they could be healthier. It's not my job to tell somebody to lose weight. It's my job when someone asks me how to lose weight to help. And that's what I try to do. I love everybody regardless of their size. I'm not one of those that you're going to see making fun of buxom Victoria. I seen a guy the other day posted a very, I thought, terrible post. It showed Victoria's Secret models, and these ladies were heavy, and he was making fun of them. And I didn't feel that way at all. I felt they all looked very sexy. People don't know my heart. I felt they looked sexy. They looked beautiful, even though they were very buxom. And I have no problem with that. But when someone says, Travis, I'm not happy with myself because of the weight, that's when I try to help them as long as they will let me help. I wish that I had loved myself when I was over 300 pounds. Now, we're going off on a tangent a little bit, and everybody here has not dealt with morbid obesity like I have and like some others here have. And I can tell you that I was very hard on myself and I was very cruel to myself. And despite that, I did lose the weight, but I still deal with the damage that I did to myself by self-loathing and self-hating because I was overweight. Does that make sense? I would be better off today after losing my weight if I would have loved myself through that process. And that's all I ask people to do. And by the way, if you're here and you're trying to lose weight, you don't really care, but people are on you about it, but you're healthy, don't worry about it. It's got to be something that you really want to do in your heart. And for me, I just wasn't going to be satisfied until I lost that weight. If I could have been satisfied, that would be fine. But I just wasn't satisfied. What about for the WOW challenge that uses sugar-free jelly and cream cheese? Can we use the reduced fat? You can use the reduced fat cream cheese there, and sugar-free jelly is always going to be okay. Good stuff, Tammy. In your research, Lee asked, have you come across information related to slightly elevated bilirubin? I hope I'm pronouncing that right, due to fasting and low-calorie diets. I'll have to research that. I haven't. I have bit into hook, line, and sinker the idea of fasting, not necessarily low-calorie diet. I know that there are some bad consequences from maintaining 500 calories a day and lower for prolonged periods of time. I know that's bad. So I don't doubt that you're going to get some elevated enzymes and hormonal issues that aren't good if you are on reduced calorie intake, 500 calories or less. And the reason I'm choosing that number is you can't get adequate protein and fat at 500 calories or less. But let's get this straight so that we don't get it muddled up. Intermittent fasting or intermittent diet, however you want to look at that, intermittent eating is not reduced calories, okay? It's just not. What we're doing is giving our food time to digest. And if we would all engage in a 16-hour fast a day, we would all be much healthier. Now, your ideal weight times 8 during the weight loss phase, and your ideal weight times 10 during the maintenance phase, and your ideal weight times 12, we're talking about calories, in the bulking up phase, that is not reduced calories. Now, I know if you go to most of the so-called experts, they're going to tell you that's too low of a calorie intake. Well, how is that working out for everyone? You see, think about that. How's that working out for our people? 2/3 of our population is obese. If I can get adequate protein and adequate fat, adequate water, and enough carbohydrate to sustain my brain, I'm in good shape. Okay, so We want to take the least number of calories required to do that and feed off that with a fast every day, 12 to 16 hours, as long as it takes to get the excess fat off of our body. The excess fat. So let's look at all the problems that we might have because of our nutritional intake, whether eating too little or eating too much. Let's just consider it all. I dare anybody to find any problem that restricted calorie intake creates that even comes close to comparing to being obese, 30 pounds or more of excess fat. Excess fat accumulates and carries toxins that create disease. It causes heart disease. It causes insulin, the lack of insulin sensitivity. It causes so many problems. Obesity is the leading cause of all premature death in our country. So when we start Googling and we start reading about low calorie intake causes this or it causes that, now you'll find a lot more evidence that it's very healthy for us. But even if it did cause some offset of some enzymes or something, you're still much healthier to get that excess fat off and then to balance out. That's why I say your calorie intake, ideal weight times 8, is ideal for weight loss if you're not following the shield and you want to count calories. And then when we get into maintenance, we go up, ideal weight times 10. So that is interesting though, Lee, and I would like to screenshot that and look into that because I've not read anything into that. I feel like we do have paralysis. See if y'all agree with this. Especially the members been around a while and you've tried to be an apologist for the program. An apologist meaning you try to explain the program to people that disagree with the program. We have in our country paralysis by overanalysis. I don't know if y'all amen that, but we have paralysis by overanalysis. And my program that I believe God inspired, very simple. We follow the daily disciplines and God takes care of the rest. And that's the program. It saved my life, and I feel like it saved many other lives. But I'm not paralyzed due to overanalysis. If I Google, I can get an itch and go Google, and it'll scare me to death. I'll think that I got a day to live. You got to be careful with Google because they've all got an agenda. It's called clickbait and making money. Shona says, in regards to the article, finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God. Amen. Full armor. That helmet of salvation, shield of faith. I love it. Good stuff. How many grams of protein should we be getting based on our goal weight? Okay. So the first thing you need to do, Miss Sally, is do an assessment. We talk about this a lot. You need to do an assessment. If you follow the Shibboleth shield, you'll be getting in adequate amounts of protein. So Sally, do you know how to do an assessment? Not the ideal weight, but the assessment. Your assessment will tell you what your lean body weight is. We don't support fat with protein. We support muscle with protein. So when you do that assessment, it will tell you what your lean body weight is absent of all fat. That is your lean living tissue. Then whatever that number is, you could try your best. Like throwing darts at the bullseye, you won't hit the bullseye every day. When we try to hit the bullseye every day, we're going to end in frustration. We're not going to be enjoying our lifestyle. None of us have to be professional bodybuilders or transformation or physique people. We can do that later if we choose to. But if we overcomplicate the program, and again, let me reiterate, all we ever need is the Shibboleth shield. But it's fascinating to people to talk about the numbers. So that's why we do that from time to time. So if you'll do that assessment will tell you what your lean body weight is, absent of all fat. Let's say that your assessment says that your lean tissue is 110 pounds. If it says that, you would need to get a half a gram up to 1 gram of protein per day. So that would mean about 55 to 110 grams of protein. Now, let me know if you understand that. If you don't, I'm happy to go through that again. And let me know if you know how to do an assessment as well. Smart supplementation. I am a supplement junkie. I should talk about supplementation more, but it's off-putting to people. and they think that then that we're requiring supplementation to do our program. All you need to do our program is a local grocery store, learn the shield, and then take a good vitamin. But yes, I'm a supplement junkie. I take branched chain amino acid, very, very critical for me based upon what I try to do to support my muscle, to tone my muscle. I take B complex, I take vitamin D3, I take melatonin, I take all kinds of supplements. I'm a big believer in supplements used the right way. So I agree with you. Who can I talk to about coming off the meds I am on, thyroids and meds for back pain at night? You got to talk to your physician. You got to talk to your doctor about that. That's the only person. We have no qualified medical people on our staff. I am a sports nutrition consultant, certified wellness coach, but I didn't renew it because it's just junk and I didn't want to pay for it again. But you would need to seek the guidance of a qualified medical professional to even consider coming off medication. But if you stick with this program long enough and you follow the shield and you believe in the shield, which is a battle that I face daily, is getting people to believe in it, getting them to believe that they're special, but no one here is biologically special. Do y'all understand the difference? You're special. You're a special person with a special calling on your life. And I want to help you reach your full potential. And I want you to help me reach my full potential. We're special. But when it comes to fat loss, from a physiological standpoint, ain't nobody here special. And nobody has a special enough problem that controlling insulin through food combining and following the shield won't take care of the situation. Everybody here will lose weight regardless of any underlying disease. These are facts. You cannot help but to lose fat when you follow the Shibboleth shield and operate in a calorie deficit and control insulin. Thank you, Giselle. God bless you. Appreciate that. Yep. Appreciate that, Jody. The great team here has done the work for us. We don't have to read labels unless we just want. I still read labels too. I can just trust the library, but I can't help it. I love to read labels myself. Hey, Karen. No, I'm just very tired. I'm not down. I'm so sorry. I knew I would come across that way. I haven't been to bed in about 40 hours. Sasha and I, we're having to pay the price for our absence, and I haven't been to bed. And then I went and worked out this morning because guys were counting on me to open the gym, and I'm just tanked. That's it. I feel great though. Yeah, we have been running on fumes. We hadn't got over that jet lag, and then we had to come back and we had to work through the night last night. And I think Sasha got maybe 2 hours and I got 0 hours, and we're just running on fumes. Any other questions today? Happy to answer any question. Food combinations, behavior modification. I'm not too tired to stay in the pocket with you for another 15 minutes. I hate that I even brought that up, but I know that I'm struggling getting it going, and I do apologize. I like to be on. Why am I nervous to try Happy Juice, Jody? It could be the Holy Spirit. It is not for everyone to try. You could be nervous just because I have overdone the alarm signals, on purpose. I want people to be very cautious with things like this. This stuff attaches to your opioid receptors like opioid. So you should be very cautious. And I know that feeling of I shouldn't do this. And that's God's way of telling you not to do it. And God works with each one of us individually. God knows our DNA. He knows everything about us. So until that feeling subsides, if it ever does, I wouldn't try it. That's how I operate my life. I try to listen to that still small voice. I don't want to sell anything bad enough to see somebody hurt themselves. And that's what I love about Shibboleth. There's not one cure-all. There's not one cure-all. There's other things to help with our appetite. There's not one cure-all. There's a plethora of opportunity on planet Shibboleth, depending on your genetic makeup, whatnot. Anybody else? Does Spark have a drink that you recommend to get some energy but without caffeine? Spark doesn't, but AdvoCare does have a product. It's called, I think it's Z16. I haven't drank it in a while because I like Spark, but it's Z something. Let me go and look. I should know because I've got some in there on the count. V16. Sorry, not Z. V16. Let me show you. And it does not have caffeine. And it's a pretty good little energy boost without the caffeine. For those that are caffeine sensitive, this is it. Advocare V16. Good little drink. Works well. It doesn't compare to Spark, but if you're caffeine sensitive, you may get just the jolt that you need out of it. Yeah. Happy Juice is not for everyone. I really debated, as many of you know, for maybe 6 months about even bringing that out, but I felt that the benefit outweighed the potential cons of the product. The pros outweighed the cons. Someone was confused and asking about how to count condiments. They thought a 50-calorie tortilla could be considered a condiment instead of a category. Shrimp and broccoli, slaw cooked in MCT with an approved tortilla. They could. They should know inside their mind and heart that they're pushing the boundaries there. But 50 calories of anything can be used as a condiment for sure. Yeah, they could do that, Miss Tammy. But they're pushing the boundaries. That's when I go, well, I wink and kind of give the grin, a sly grin, and say, well, that's lawful, but it's not very expedient. And most of us know that inside our mind and heart. We don't need to look for ways to add more. We need to look for ways to add less and still be satisfied if we want to lose body fat. But they could do that if that's what they wanted to do. Is that satisfactory? We've got I look at Shibboleth like if y'all have ever watched like a court case or anything, or like a movie about where they talk about legal precedents and both lawyers state their case looking at the book of law and see what precedents has been established, and the lawyer with the best argument wins. And what I love about the book of Shibboleth is that we've wrote down every potential rule, and you can go good, better, or best. You just have to determine in your personal psychology, do you want to go to your goal slowly or do you want to go really fast? And that person, they may be satisfied going a little slower. Deborah, Advocare sent me samples of Oasis. Can you elaborate on it? Great product. It has adaptogens in it that help your body and your cells adapt to the stress in its environment. Therefore, it keeps your immune system high because it helps you deal with environmental and food toxins. It has adaptogens in it to help you adapt to your not perfect environment. And it's pretty tasty. So enjoy it. It's a freebie. Kristen, you mentioned yesterday the upcoming 24-day challenge. Should I do one or both since I just did the group 10-day detox? Because of what we've got coming up, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm going to run back-to-back 24-day challenge. Some challenges I don't participate in. I'm at my low weight. I don't want to lose a lot more weight. So some I'm just moderating, and then some I participate in. I prefer to participate in them. And these two I will be participating in because I know that I'm going to eat too much during Thanksgiving and I'm going to eat too much during Christmas. So I'm going to work really hard November 1st through 24th and December 1st through 24th. And those of you that want to do that with me, I invite you to join me. We're going to work hard and play hard. And if you want to join me, I would love to have you. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. If you do one of them, great. If you do two of them, great. The 10-day detox, it's not necessary to do it every month. But if you did it every month, you'd just be that much help. I usually do the detox 3 to 4 times a year. I recently said I wouldn't run another detox, but we've got people wanting to do a detox. And I feel like because of what's coming up in my own eating lifestyle, it won't hurt me to do it either, the first 10 days. And then we'll do a 14-day metabolic boost, day 11 through day 24. Shona, I know you said to do it on an empty stomach. When I do, it gives me a lot of stomach pain. Is it okay to drink Happy Juice with a meal? It is. You may not get the same psychoactive effect. It can upset my tummy a little too. It quickly subsides for me. And then the benefits outweigh that little bit of that 15-20 minute stomach cramp that I get. I usually only get that if I drink the whole bottle. but my body has adjusted and that has subsided. But yeah, you can certainly have it with food if you can stomach it that way. I don't really like it with food because it makes my food not enjoyable, but it's something to try. What's the Advocare product I read about that you recommend for metabolizing holiday intake? I call it my Cheaters Relief. That's not Advocare's term, that's mine. Cheaters Relief. Now, these days, I used to call it Cheaters Relief. Now I call it Holiday Relief. I'm a huge believer in the ingredients in Carb Ease Plus and Fibotrim, the Fibotrim product. So your Carb Ease, it binds to some of the glucose, helping you regulate your fat bus hormone better. Anytime you're having a holiday meal or a meal that has category 3 or 5, that Carb Ease, you don't take it every day, but when you do have category 3s or 5s or a holiday, Carb Ease will help negate some of that insulin response that you get. The less insulin, when we're in a calorie deficit, the more efficient fat loss we will enjoy. And then you have Fibotrim, which I've done videos on this. I can put in here, I can add fat, and the fat will float on top. And I can put my Fibotrim capsules in there, unscrew them, pull them apart, put the powder in there, and you'll see it attached to that fat. So what Fibotrim does is attach to some of the fats that we eat, not all of them, but when we're having a holiday, all that fat. Take French fries, for example. So if I eat French fries for a holiday where they cook those potatoes, category 3, in a vegetable oil that I shouldn't normally be having, but I'm having a holiday and I want to have my French fries and ketchup or whatnot, then I would take my Carb Ease to help slow down the insulin response that the potatoes cause. And I would take my Fibotrim to bind to some of that vegetable fat so that I don't absorb all of it and it passes through my digestive tract. So those two products are phenomenal products. The 3 main products of Advocare that everybody would do good to incorporate would be Metabolic Nutrition System, Catalyst, and Spark. And then 3-4 times a year, do a detox. And then those 2 products that you just brought up, Carb Ease and Fibotrim. I always have them on hand because less insulin, it's just math. Less insulin, quicker I get back into EFB. Yeah, Kiara, those 2 challenges with me, I feel like I've let y'all down a lot this year. We've been through a huge cycle of change. And these last 2 challenges, with God as my helper, to give it all I got. Support sessions daily. I'm going to share everything that I do to get ready for 2023. And I want to invite as many people to come go with me as will. So I know you'll get great results if we just go together. What's your take on Biocharge? I got one with the order. Also, can I take 1 and 2 in the Omni at the same time because I forgot to take the 2? Biocharge, good product. Good product. It's more for those folks that are working out. If you're working out intensely, I would say that Biocharge is a good product to incorporate. If you're not working out, I think it's probably overkill. If you're working out, I'm not talking about walking. I'm talking about strenuous exercise and activity. Then I can see me incorporating Biocharge. I haven't, but I probably need to look at it. I just take so much stuff now. But it's something to look at if you're working out strenuously. Let me unpack the rest of your question. Can I take pack 1 and pack 2 in Omni at the same, because I forgot to take the number 2? Well, I'm not sure I'm totally understanding the question. Pack number 1 is best absorbed on an empty stomach. 15 to 30 minutes before a meal is ideal. Pack number 2 always needs to be taken with a meal. Do not take, now, we're not talking about death here, but we're talking about nausea. Many of us, including myself, with those powerful, potent vitamins in pack 2, experience nausea. Some people have a still stomach and don't, but I experience a great deal of nausea if I take pack number 2 on an empty stomach. I always take pack number 2 with the largest eating episode of the day. Kristen says, I just had a depressing birthday. Oh, that's sad. Hate to hear that. Recently had a couple unplanned holidays, up 7.2 pounds because of it, and back down 2.2 since Wednesday. Good job though. Give that another day of perfect days. You'll get that off. You'll get that off. Jody asked, so if you overeat with carbs, then Carbees would be the better choice. Correct. Carbees is for carbs only. It doesn't help us with fat. Fibotrim helps us with fat. So being in the know, if you've got a meal that's heavy in carbs but low in fat, you would not want to take Fibotrim. And on the reverse, if you're eating a meal that's heavy in fat, let's give you an example. Let's say that you're having a steak and broccoli, but you're having, instead of the right portion, you're eating half the cow. Let's say you're having a porterhouse steak instead of your 2 to 8 ounce steak. Okay. So you're having a holiday because you're going over on your portions. That would be a good meal to have Fibotrim with. You take Fibotrim and Carbees as directed before a meal. You don't want to take it with the meal. It needs time to start breaking down in your system so that it's there to bind to these foods that you're eating. So 15 to 30 minutes before a meal would be ideal. Yes, Heather, we will do orientation next week for November 1st. So we'll do an orientation and then it will be listed under group challenge. Yes, Kim. Now, if you take pack number 1 with your eating episode, you're just not going to absorb it as well. You'll still get some benefit, but you just want to absorb it as well. It's pack 2 that I'm concerned with. Pack 2 should be taken with an eating episode to avoid, some people avoid nausea like me. So if someone is all out on the carbs and fats on the holidays, should they use both products? Yes, indeed. I call both of those products called a stack. In the supplement industry, we call that a stack. And my stack for holiday relief is Carbees and Fibotrim. Every year, this time of year, I make sure I have Carbees and Fibotrim, very powerful, potent, great supplements where the ingredients have been studied over and over and over. And Fibotrim has a fat binding effect and Carbees has an insulin reduction effect. Any other questions or comments? Good stuff today. I hope y'all are getting some good out of it. I am. I'm enjoying it. You're making me excited about the 24-day challenge. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for believing in the program. I hope that I can continue to spread the message that Shibboleth is not my program. I'm charged with, Sasha and I are charged with doing our best to keep it alive, but it's not ours. It's your program, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That's what I've always wanted was people. That's why it's called My Shibboleth. It's been God's plan for it from day one. And Sasha and I are charged with keeping it alive. But it's your program, and I'm glad that you love it and are applying it. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Karen. Anybody else? I'm not going to get any sleep, so I just don't want to. I got some fun things I'm working on, so I'm going to stay awake. I'm going to go to bed about 9 o'clock tonight. Anyone else? I want to thank our partners again. Thank you so much for all you do. Y'all, I've got a very special announcement next week for our partner. I can't wait to announce it, and I'm just praying that the partners just love what we're going to be doing at the end of the year for them. We love our partner. Thank you, Laura. Hey, Karen. All right, y'all. Well, I've enjoyed engaging with you, and I look forward. Hey, let everybody know to come back to class. We're back. We lost about half our people being gone a week. We need to get them back in here. But we love y'all, and we look forward to connecting with you next week, barring hurricanes and such like we've been dealing with here in Florida. We've got a full week for you next week, Monday through Friday at 11. We've got some orientations for our challenges. So next week's going to be a full and exciting week. Missed y'all too. Y'all have a perfect day today. Don't let the weekend, that devil uses the weekend, y'all. Watch out for that devil. Bye, Vicky. Bye, Shauna. Bye, everybody. God bless you.